So let's write that down. So this symbol here, this double arrow here, means the same thing as this. And this means, I'll just write it again, this means if and only if. That's what the IFF means, if and only if. And this means the same thing, if and only if. So f is even, if and only if f of negative x equals f of x, and f is odd if f of negative x equals minus f of x. So what does this mean about the graph of an even function and the graph of an odd function? So this one, if it's even, so we have this, what does that mean? That means if you put in f of x, or if you put in f of negative x, you're getting the same thing. In other words, you're getting the same height. So if I put in x, here's x, and I get some height here, then it's saying that f of negative x should give me the same thing, or the same height. So it should look like that. And so if I put in something here, or here, and I get this height, then over here, I should get the same height. And say I put here, put here, I got this height, then over here, I should get the same height. So what does this picture mean? It means that basically you're getting a reflection through this line. So in other words, you're getting symmetry. So suppose it looks like this, then it has to look like this, something like that. So it means that it has to be symmetric around the y-axis. Okay? So an even function has to have this kind of symmetry. Okay, now what about an odd function? So here, if it's odd, we have this situation. So that says that here I put in, let's say x is equal to 2. So here f of negative x, f of negative 2. So let's say the height is here at negative 2. That means f of 2 should be down here. So let's put in 3. And I get, let's say, this height here. So that's f of 3 is like, let's just make up some numbers. F of 3 is equal to negative 5. So that means this says that if I put in f of negative 3, I should get negative of what I got when I put in f of 3. So I should get negative of negative 5, negative of negative 5. So that means that for negative 3, I should get something up here. And then let's say go over here and I go to 5 and I get here. That means over here at negative 5, I have to get something down here. So maybe it looks like this, like that. Okay, so this kind of function is called an odd function. So we can say that this has symmetry around the y-axis, and this is said to have symmetry around the origin. And what we mean by that is, if you rotate this graph, take this graph and rotate it 180 degrees, you'll get the same thing. Okay, so let's check a few more examples. So let's take an example like this. F of x equals x to the 5th plus x. So we could ask, is it odd, even, either of these, or is it even both of these? So what do we want to check? Let's check if it's even first. So that is, we want to check if f of minus x is equal to f of x. So let's check that. So we want to put in, f of minus x, so what is that? When we put that in, we get minus x to the 5th plus minus x. And then we want to check, is that equal to f of x? So that's x to the 5th plus x. Are these equal? You can see that they're not equal. So this is not even, because they're not equal. Okay, now we want to check, is it odd? So to check if it's odd, we want to check this. So we want to check f of minus x, let's write it again, f of minus x, we'll write it here, that's again the same thing, that plus minus x, we want to check is that equal to what? To minus f of x, minus f of x. So what is minus f of x going here? So it's minus f of x is that, x to the fifth minus x, I'm sorry, plus x. So what about that? Are these equal? Yeah, these are equal, right? You get the same thing. So this is equal to this. So that is, this is equal to this. So it's odd. So this function is odd. So you can see that it's pretty clear that when you add two odd functions together, you're still going to get an odd function. That's what we have. This is odd, and this is odd, and we got an odd function as